Yo, what's up, Freeze Army? Welcome to the Hon-Rui challenge. My name is Mr. Freeze2244, and for this one, we're going to start in the default location. And we're actually going to go in the bathroom this time and grab the pair of scissors that's just on the shelf there. I went through all of these challenges, and I've never even knew those pair of scissors were there until one of my subscribers told me about it. And I feel a bit silly, you know, because I've been actually all this time we've been actually going to the next door neighbour and grabbing the trusty cowboy bust. But nevertheless, we don't need it for this challenge anyway, so we're just going to come into this bathroom and subdue this guy and put him in the closet. We need to get the director's disguise, so we're just going to wait for him patiently with our scissors. We're going to use this as a distraction. When it comes to this particular challenge, it was actually more difficult than I thought it would be, and if someone wanted to be patient enough to try and stealth this whole thing, then they'll be knocking out so many people. There is quite a lot of people to get through, and to do that unnoticed, then you are a true stealth master if you can actually manage to do that. But I'm going to try and show you a way to do it as fast as possible, as well as the most effective way of doing it. I'm not just going to be running around knocking people out with a bat. That is just crazy, and you just end up dying within the first 10 seconds. So I'm going to show you a survival strategy of how to actually get this challenge done. So we threw the distraction in the corner there, and we distracted the director. And we're going to drag his body in the locker over here, just like the previous person we just knocked out. And we're going to take his disguise as well. Now once you've done that, we're going to head to the director's office, because that's where the baseball bat is going to be, and that's where the disguise is going to be as well. And that's when we're going to go ahead and start our challenge. What I do recommend is, though, when you reach this area near your office, what I recommend you doing is making a save. I didn't actually do it, I didn't have time. I was already in a combat situation before I even had an attempt to do it, but I highly recommend you make a save right now. Because if you die, you're going to have to go and repeat this process of getting this disguise, and it can become a little bit tedious when it comes to this kind of stuff. So this is the director's office just over here. We're going to grab the baseball bat. This is the point where I tried to save and I realised it was too late, so we had to just stick it out. The disguise is just going to be here, so we're just going to knock out these two enemies. They're going to spot you anyway, and that's what we intended in the first place anyway. We was going to lure them in here and just knock them both out. We were going to get into a combat situation, but the main idea is just to stay in this room. One by one, they will eventually come in the room, and you can just easily knock them out one by one. They're very stupid, and you're going to take advantage of the fact that they're very stupid as well. There's going to be a mass pile up at this door, so the game will become a little bit laggy towards the end, but that's just the way the situation is. But this is a very easy way of getting this challenge done. You only need to knock out the people with the masks. However, the guards can't differentiate. If they're gonna come in, just knock them out, whether they've got masks on or not. Just knock anyone out that comes through this doorway. You're quite well protected. You've got bulletproof glass all around you. There's no way to penetrate the glass. The guard here was trying his best to try and shoot me through that little gap there. They've got incredible aiming, but as soon as they come through the doorway, you need to make sure you smack them in the head as fast as possible. But if you do get capped or you do die, I just recommend reloading that save that you made, and you should be able to reattempt this, no problem. But this is a very easy strategy and to survive each and every one of these people. Like I said, this one requires a lot of patience, but if you don't have a lot of patience with this, you're gonna fail, and you're gonna keep dying, and just in the end you would have wished that you did this strategy in the first place anyway. So again, we're just going to wait in this room. They do eventually come in the room, and even though sometimes they'll wait there for long periods of time, they do eventually just come in, because they do have to come out of that combat state eventually, because they don't know if you're even in the room or not. And if you are worried that they're not coming out of the combat state and they're still just standing there, then I recommend hiding behind the desk and just changing your position around the room, and just to get them to move and change things up. So I'm trying to keep moving as much as possible, and at this point I was just wondering who the hell was shooting me, because I couldn't see anyone that was in a combat situation apart from the people that were in the corridor, and all I kept hearing was gunshots and stuff like that. I don't know where they were coming from, but I figured out eventually that they're coming from way over on the other side And the other guy was trying to shoot through bulletproof glass, but he just realised that he couldn't do it because the AI is kind of stupid. But like I said, we're taking advantages of the AI right now. We're just waiting for them one by one to keep coming into the room, so we keep knocking these people out. It does take a while, I do admit that, but this, in my opinion, is probably one of the best and fastest and easiest ways of doing this challenge, because it's very, very difficult in terms of trying to stealth it, or even just running around knocking people out. It's not a very quick weapon to use to hit people in the head with. You can do it with things like the pool ball or the cowboy bust, but when it comes to the bat, it's quite big and heavy, so it does take a long time to actually knock out your enemies while you're getting shot, that is. I mean, if you're using like a pool ball, you can go around knocking people out with very relative speed without no issues or dramas. But when it comes to a big bat, then you're gonna get shot at least once or twice when you're hitting another enemy while they're still standing there. So this is why it's really important to just be patient, wait for them to come to you, and because they will do eventually, and they'll just start thinning out, and you'll realise when they start thinning out, because there'll be no more hostile enemies around this top of the level, and there'll be about 3 more guards left around the top, and that's when we're going to head out, and then that's when we're going to start running around and picking up the last couple of people that are going to be left. Again, this only requires you to knock out the people with the masks on. However, you can't you can't pick and choose, because it's just the way it is. We're in a combat situation, so you're right there, the guard over there, and he's just trying to shoot through the glass, and he can't actually hit me because of the bulletproof glass. So at this point, it's been a while since they've actually came into the room, so I've just decided to start moving around, hide them on the desk and things like that. But I wouldn't stay here for too long, because like I said, their aiming is incredibly accurate, and you could get flanked in this position, so I recommend waiting for them to come to you, whack them in the head, and then get back to that door as fast as possible, so they can reset their their sequence of events and what they want to do. They'll either just stand there and just leave you in the room, or they'll flank you and try to come in and rush you like this that they're trying to do now. Sometimes they'll bring 2 guards in at once. You just need to be very quick when it comes to that. So just when you think the guards are thinning out, even more enemies start coming. So you eventually wonder how many guards are actually on here. Okay, so whack him in the head. So we took a couple of hits there. They shoot incredibly fast as well. You need to be wary of that. So if you've been hit, you will see the discoloration of the screen. Wait for your health to recover before you try stepping out again. Like I said, you see there, 2 enemies came into the room. I could have easily gotten shot there, because he initiated the neck snapping of one of the enemies that were on the floor, instead of actually knocking one of the enemies out. So I got a bit lucky there, but the strategy is still the same. If as soon as one come in one by one, or even 2, we'll have plenty of time to just knock them out, because they're just stupid. And then here's 2 of them at once, 1 of them, and 2. Come on. Come on. They will come in eventually. I've got more patience than they have. I'll be here all night. He is pissed. He's pissed. He's annoyed that he can't shoot you, so he's just pumping up those bullets away at that doorway. There's no one there. Don't know what he's shooting at. But he's too pissed that he has to come in and try and avenge the death of his friends and colleagues and co-workers. And so there's only a couple left now, so we can be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to the last couple of few guards. So we're just going to wait for them to split. I got a bit worried there, because 47 stepped out a little bit, which I didn't want him to do. I should have waited a little bit more for him to come back into the room. But yeah, we're down to the last few guards now, so there's not many left. So we're just going to try and get them one by one now. We can afford to take a little bit more risk, because there's only 1 or 2 more guards left. I thought that was going to be it after I knocked him out, but the challenge didn't pop for me, so I thought there must be some more. But there's definitely none on this floor, so we had to go down 1 more floor and see who else is left. So not only there's a lot of masked guards, there's a lot of guards in general around these floors anyway. So here's a couple. There's 2 in the basement, and that's where these 2 guards I think are coming from. Because once we hit him, that was the last one, and so then we unlocked the Hon-Rui challenge completed at the top right corner of the screen. So that's going to do it for this video. So I hope this has helped you out, this strategy. Drop a like if it did, and then subscribe here if you are new for more challenges. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.